Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. The point in today's video is to talk to you all about what I know about the classified main quest Easter egg and all the kind of mysteries on that map. I've obviously done a lot of hunting for the main quest Easter egg on stream, and a lot of you guys have been in those streams and telling me about things that you've found in your games, and what I noticed is that there are a lot of things that some people think are new finds that other people have been doing for weeks, and just because there's been so much content in Black Ops 4 Zombies since launch, a lot of stuff's been kind of swept under the rug or forgotten about or discovered and then rediscovered like 5 times. And in this video, I'm basically going to get everyone on the same page, reset the community a little bit, and try and bring everyone up to date on what's actually in the main quest Easter egg so far and what's just not a step at all. The first thing that I want to get to that I've had so many people telling me about are the Wisps in the labs area of the map. There are 4 yellow balls of light that you can find, and each one is in a different position depending on what character you are playing as in the match. When you shoot them, they play a Samantha quote, and it's German high-voice Samantha, and she'll basically antagonize your character a little bit and give you a bit of storyline information. I'm not going to show you all of the Wisp audio or anything in this video because I posted a video about this just after Black Ops 4 launch, but even to this day, whenever I stream Classified, I still get people saying, Milo, I don't think anyone on YouTube has found this and it's new, but it's just because those videos basically got lost amongst all the other maps that were being posted at the time. So the Wisps are 100% just basically radios, guys. We do not need to worry about them too much right now. They're definitely cool as hell though, so I recommend if you want to get more information about them, you watch the video, which will be linked down below, that has the full audio and the locations and everything like that. The second thing I've seen a lot of discussion of is basically an object that people have been picking up when they go to Area 51 and they go and try and interact with the lantern on the box. It turns out that that gives you a punch card. Now, I've made plenty of videos again about punch card Easter eggs, but because they're quite hard to see, a lot of people pick them up in their game, they get a quote, and then they don't realize it's a punch card specifically that they've picked up, and they think that they've found a different item entirely. So I want to get everyone on the same page here. There are something like 7 punch cards across Classified. This is what they look like, and the most common ones that I see people grabbing are down in the labs on the heads of one of the targets that's in the labs, kind of like pinned to its head. That's a really common one that people find, and another common one is the Area 51 one that I mentioned. The punch cards are used for something that I'm going to talk about in just a moment. There is another audio Easter egg that might be related to the main quest, but the punch cards themselves, their specific utility has been figured out because we know exactly how to get all of the punch cards and we know how to play their audio as well. So if you see a punch card in game, don't panic, don't freak out too much. These are known about 100% for sure as well. Now, the next thing I see all the time, I even got a tweet about it last night with someone saying they had figured out the first step in Classified, and I jumped in their stream and was like, I can't actually see a step being done here. But it was just confusion based on the fact that there is a server box, there is a metal sort of car part almost looking thing in the labs area of Classified that is a server that you can pick up out of the lockers once you've activated Pack-a-Punch, I believe. When you grab that item, you can then go into the new server room, which is in the war room part of the map. You go through the new door in there, and there's an open server rack, which you can put this server into, and there's a little light on it. Now, if you get a weapon with kilowatt, and you shoot that thing, the light will basically fill up the little bar that's on there, and you'll basically turn all the lights green once you've shot it for a little while, and that will then allow you to play your punch cards, which you've previously just been picking up, in the punch card machine just to the side of you in that server room. Now, once again, this is a 100% known Easter egg at this point. The server that you pick up from that locker, this is its only purpose, and this is something that I get tweeted about so much, and so I really wanted to clarify and help you guys kind of see all the stuff that this was used for so that you didn't need to worry about it too much and investigating it too much in your future games. Another one that is really something that I think the community now doesn't really recognize so much, but the community that played Black Ops 1 completely recognizes 100%, are the red metal boxes that you can find in different areas of the map. There's one potential spawn for the red boxes in the server room that I've just been talking about, and there's another potential spawn down in the pig room, the porcine research, I believe. What that red box is a trap piece. It will go into your HUD, there are 2 slots for it, and you can bring the trap pieces up to the top floor of the map and put them into the non-working traps that are available in the corridors. It will basically do a little kind of buyable door animation type thing, and you'll then be able to activate those traps on the top floors and kill zombies using the kind of electricity gates that they create. This has been in the game since Black Ops 1. It's totally nothing new, but a lot of the new community members don't recognize these so far, and so I wanted to clear up exactly what these were for as well. Now, something that is sort of similar to those wisps that I was talking about before are the Samantha quotes that you can hear when you are playing as Richtofen. If you jump into a game as Richtofen on a classified, and it doesn't have to be solo, it doesn't have to be co-op, it can be any, you just need to jump in as Richtofen, as you go through your game, will start hearing Samantha talking to you, and some of the quotes are really quite long. They seem to be a little bit more frequent when you're in Area 51, or at least that's in my experience. But she'll talk and talk and talk, and you'll be like around 50 plus on classified, and she'll still be talking to you and threatening you and all sorts of crazy stuff. Now, this is, once again, just an audio, radio type Easter egg right now. It's not suspected that this has anything more to it, but it's definitely really cool to see this for the storyline sort of aspect. I just want to kind of make sure that people aren't focusing on it too much as an Easter egg step and more as just its own standalone storyline audio Easter egg, because that's what it really is. Another one that I've seen mention of is the key in the box that's just outside the president's room in the war room. You can pick up a key from that box, and it's not immediately obvious what that key is for, but it turns out that if you've done the Project Skady Easter egg, you need that key to open one of the drawers on the top floor of the map. So the key itself has been used. That doesn't have an Easter egg purpose for anything else other than for that Project Skady Free Winter's Howl Easter egg. There are some suspicious looking keys on the floor just next to that box, but what I've figured out with Giant Waffle, I was in his stream, we were playing together hunting the classified egg, his chat noticed these keys, and we realized that they're actually just part of the normal map, I think, for the floor texture in that area. And what that means is that they're not physical items that you can move or pick up or do anything with. They're actually just part of the floor, basically. And so I don't think that there's anything we need to do with those keys now either. Now then, so far in this video, I've basically put to bed a lot of rumors about different Easter egg steps on Classified, but now I want to talk about 1 or 2 things that I think will be related to the quest. I mean, this is what I know about the Classified Easter egg, isn't it? So I might as well talk about the egg's actual progress so far. We currently do not have a step 1, but there are various things on the maps that have been suspected to be Easter egg step related for a little while. One of those things is the metal grate on the floor in Area 51. You go up towards that teleporter pad, and there is a very suspicious looking metal square just chilling out there with a little colored bar on it. Now, that colored bar is actually a temperature bar. It's a heat map. And so what I suspect is going to happen is during the classified Easter egg, we're going to need to use the Winter's Howl to freeze that metal plate, because I think that metal plate is a CPU heatsink. That's what I think's going on there, and so we're going to have to cool that down to prevent it from overheating for some reason, or maybe we're going to need to heat it up, and that's going to cause the teleporter to overload and teleport us to somewhere new. That's completely a possibility right now, and it's very suspicious that that thing is there and that it looks as it does, so I'd say that that plate is totally related to an Easter egg for sure. The Winter's Howl Easter egg, that Skady Easter egg, is also suspicious because on the other maps, we've used the wonder weapons on the map to do the main quest Easter egg. It's happened basically every time, I guess apart from in Blood, but in Blood it's really useful to have the Blundergat at least. I suppose in Blood the alternative is that there's Easter eggs for you to get like monkey bombs, and there's Easter eggs for you to get the Hell's Retriever, and you need those for the egg. So instead of like the main wonder weapon, it's the side wonder weapons that are vital. Now in 5, there's only really one main wonder weapon, and it's the Winter's Howl. And so I think that there is a strong chance that that Easter egg needs to be done, or that Easter egg is useful to do in the doing of the main quest. It's just not the main quest itself. Now, I've also seen people talking about the fact that they think there just isn't an Easter egg at all, and there's also been talks about leaks and things like that with stuff cut from the game files and things along those lines. I have avoided the leaks as much as possible. I don't want to see anything related to the leaks for this Easter egg, and I also don't really want to know if it's been cut from the game or if it's still there or what. However, what I will say is that there is definitely a chance that it isn't in the game just yet and it's going to be unlocked alongside some kind of update in a month's time or something. I, for a while, was thinking maybe we have to do the blood Easter egg before we can do classified. I mean, if you think back in the day with Black Ops 1, there were several maps where you had to do one Easter egg before you were even able to do another. So a perfect example would be Moon. On Moon, you had to have Call of the Dead and Shangri-La done if you wanted to do that Easter egg because there were items you got from those maps that were required in Moon. Now in 2018, Treyarch have kind of moved away from that format, but Classified is a throwback to the past, and so there is a chance that they're going to make it a throwback to the format they used in the past as well, and make it so that you had to complete Blood first or something along those lines. However, doing Blood hasn't seemed to make any change in Classified. But there's always a chance that after DLC 1, then we can do the classified Easter egg. That is a possibility too. There's also a chance that there's a side Easter egg in Classified that we need to do in order to basically find the wheel of steps that would go in the bottom left corner of the heads-up display. On the other maps, we've obviously got that wheel, and so that's how we knew we were on Unleash the Spirits and then Shock and Denial and etc in Blood of the Dead, for example, because we had that wheel there. In Voyage, you have the wheel, because the Sentinel artifact basically acts as the wheel, but then when you pack-a-punch the artifact, it changes how it looks in the HUD, which was a really nice touch from Treyarch, and that gives us the idea that they are playing around with the idea of changing the HUD element depending on your progress, and as such, there is a chance that we need to do something in Classified to basically find the thing that we are then going to be filling out and going around that's going to act as our wheel. The next thing I want to talk about is a monkey bomb thing that people have been finding on a table in the spawn area. I got told to do this in my stream, and as I understood it from what my viewers were saying, people thought that because they were throwing a monkey bomb on a table outside the map and it was activating instead of just having the kind of wah sound effect and the monkey flying into the sky with a load of lightning, that made them think that the table might be related to the Easter egg because that could be like a throwback to Ascension, throwing the Gersh device outside the map, and normally it just despawns, but in one area it doesn't, and that was an Easter egg step, right? The problem was, I did that monkey bomb thing, and in my game, my monkey actually slipped through the crack in the table and activated on the floor below the table, and I just don't think that that would be possible if this was an egg step. Like, if we had to throw it on the table, that would be fine. I'd be very interested in seeing that happen, but seeing as nothing else seems to change in the game when we do it, and it can fall through the table and still activate, just makes me think that that's not actually a step after all. Although it was a good find, and I definitely rate the kind of logic behind it, I just personally don't think that that's a step right now. The paintings Easter egg, I think, could be related to things. That's a whole nother can of worms that I'm not going to get into here because I've talked about it in other videos, and it's kind of impossible to say whether it is or is not fully related right now, but I think that there is possibly more to do there. There's also another thing that I really should have talked about earlier in this video. There are terminals around the war room that, when you interact with them, make beeping noises, which is actually Morse code. That's also a known Easter egg as well, guys. We don't need to worry about that too much. I get a lot of tweets about this one. That's just a Morse code music Easter egg. You interact with those computers in the right order, and a music Easter egg will play, and that's once again something that I've got a video on, so if you want to watch it, it's linked down below. I posted that again a couple days after launch, so we've known about that one for a little while now. I think, for now, our best bet with the classified egg is to A, try and find something that will act as the wheel for the bottom left corner of our display, like I've just said, or B, start thinking about doing things after we've done the punch card Easter egg in our game, because that punch card Easter egg basically lets you activate the Dempsey audio from Hangar 4, and I think the fact that he is there and talking to us when we throw those grenades means there's a very strong chance that when we do other stuff in our game, we might be able to either hear the other characters in there in kind of shock that they actually have ended up back on Earth, despite the fact that they just blown the Earth up, and they also might end up guiding us through the Easter egg. I think that would be a really cool thing for Treyarch to do, and I'd love for that to be the case. It's not necessarily going to be the way it works, but I think that doing things post punch cards at least means that we eliminate the possibility that we're doing the right steps, but just without having punch cards done, and that means that something's not working in our game. Just get all the Easter eggy stuff done first in the game, and then after that, start hunting for what step 1 might be, and then there's going to be no chance that we accidentally miss stuff. Hopefully, that brings you up to speed with everything basically that we know so far about Classified. There are 1 or 2 other things that I haven't talked about here, like individual steps for Skady and stuff like that, but these were the main things I wanted to get to because there's been so much confusion about them in my streams, and it will be a much more productive search if everyone is kind of up to date with exactly what's going on here. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, guys. I have been MrRoflWaffles. Please click the like button if you have enjoyed it, and click the bell next to my subscription button in order to get notified when I next post a zombies video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.